My first week of van life, I was sleeping in a Walmart parking lot and young kids surrounded my van in the middle of the night and started banging on it. So that was a terrifying experience. My name's Shane, I'm 31. I live in a 2013 Mercedes Sprinter van. Come check it out. I've been living in the van for about a year now. When I was 19, I dropped out of college my first semester and I started working full-time. When I was 25 years old, I purchased a house. Over the next 4 years of my life, I slowly made changes to the house and made it a lot nicer. And then right before my 30th birthday, I sold the house and I purchased Roadhouse. The conversion took me 2.5 months to do. I could have done it in lesser time, but I wasn't smart with the builds. I definitely learned my lesson with this first build. So after being a homeowner for almost 5 years, the anxiety that I've experienced just rose to new levels. I suffer from anxiety, depression, and PTSD, and I felt trapped. I was making a lot of money. I had a beautiful house. I had a hot tub. I had an awesome truck. I have my 2 dogs, but I just wasn't happy with life. I wanted freedom. I wanted to go out into the world and find myself. So the van gave me that opportunity. So right when you walk in, I got my light switches. Drills all the switches in front and back. I've got USPs as well. What's up, Bucky? So this is my couch. It also turns into a bed. I've got 4-inch memory foam cushions right here. Yeah, I'll show you how it works. Take this guy, that guy over there. Take this, slide that out. Pull that out, and you've got the bed. Oh, I'm 6 foot. Plenty of room for me, plenty of room for the dogs as well. So all of my storage is located under my bed as well. Underneath here is primarily where I keep all my cushions and my blankets for sleeping. Over here, I've got camera tripod, charger. I've actually got a 1-wheel in here. And this section is where I keep all of my tools. So I've got my tool bag, I've got my inverter, I've got my bus bar, all my stuff. In the front here, my solar charge controller. That's where you plug in for the inverter. I'm running 3 100 amp hour batteries. On the roof, I've got 4 100-watt panels as well. And that's plenty enough to run the fridge and all the electronics, all the lights and everything. So all these cabinets are handmade. I keep all of my towels and some extra clothes stuff back in there. Up here, these are all of my clothes, all of my sweatshirts, pants and shirts, just basically shoved in there. Over here are my books. I've got a plant, of course. You gotta have a plant when you're in van life. My hats I keep up here, just some extra storage space. Above me, I've got 1, 2, 3 LED lights, which is great. I can individually turn them on. So if I'm laying in bed, I can read, or if I'm laying on the couch, I've got light. So this is the Max Air fan. I've got a remote control for it. Pulls air in and it pushes air out as well. These fans I highly recommend. With the window open and the fan going, there's a nice breeze that pulls through. Keeps the dogs nice and cool as well. So the wood I chose is cedar. I love cedar wood. It's lightweight, it keeps the insects away, and it's got a great smell to it as well. Plus I just love the knots in cedar. Yeah, so that's pretty much the theme. Everything's made out of cedar. These upper cabinets are 1/4-inch plywood in between to make them lightweight. But yeah, everything else is cedar in here. I've got my sink here. It's deep enough so I can wash all my pans in there and everything. I've got my soap right here, my soap dispenser. So the tile is mercury mosaic. I basically designed the entire kitchen around these tiles in this color. I went with the green cushion so it would match as well. I love the mermaid fish scale tiles and how it looks in here. Up top, I just decided to go with a small little shelf here. It's basically for spices and stuff like that, but I don't use any spices on my food, so right now it just holds all of my masks, my doggy bags. I've got some bear mace right here. Got my headlamp, got my flashlight, some deodorant. I've got a set of drumsticks that somebody gave to me. I don't know who gave them to me, but I'm gonna need these one day. So these countertops are butcher block countertops. They are 1.5 inches thick. I went with butcher block, so I had the wood theme going on. I was a chef for 3 years and I love cooking, so I wanted maximum counter space as possible. So I wanted to be able to cook like here and then turn around and cook over here, not just have one little small area. Over here, I primarily just like slice vegetables and cook stuff. Watermelon. So over here is primarily used for space when I'm cooking on the 2-burner. Typically I cook outside. I prefer to cook outside rather than inside. I do have the fan to pull the smoke and everything outside, but things just get dirty in here. So if I can keep it outside, I'll keep it outside. This tile, I was torn between wrapping it around with the green mercury mosaic. I was gonna bring it all the way to here, but I thought that was too much. So I wanted something that didn't compete with the green as well. So I went with the white. Went with white subway tiles. I have not grouted it yet, I just finished it, but it will be white grout once I'm finished with it. Up top here, I've got all my food and all my storage. I've got pasta, I've got cans, I've got bananas, wraps, potato buns, apples. The ceiling, I just kind of came up with on my own. Many hours staring at the ceiling, figuring out what I wanted to do. I wanted to go with bamboo because I've never seen a bamboo ceiling in a van before. There are vans out there now with bamboo ceilings that I've seen, but originally when I was doing my research, I couldn't find one, so. Basically just split it up with these pieces of wood here and then ran my lights straight down the middle. These bamboo mats are removable. They're about 1/4 inch thick and they come in 4x8 sheets. And I basically just cut them to size and put them up here. So if I need to get into the ceiling, these pull out on every single one and the ceiling actually comes out. So I can get to my wiring for my lights, or if I have a leak in the ceiling, God forbid, anything like that, I can get to it. I just decided to go with the farmhouse curtain. It makes it real easy to access the water tank. I have a 30-gallon water tank underneath here. Underneath here is just extra storage. I've got a bag underneath here, another bag, and some pair of shoes that I keep under there. This first cabinet here is where the propane tank goes. These cabinets here are just extra storage, all underneath, extra storage. Over here is my fridge. I've got a 120-volt fridge. So originally I had a Dometic fridge. It was the cooler type fridge. That's located in front of my front seat. That wasn't enough room for me to keep my food. I kept having to go to the store every 3 to 4 days. So I got this big fridge here and I can just jam pack this with food. I've been out for 2 weeks without going to the grocery store, so plenty of storage in there. My old fridge was a 12-volt DC. This one is 120 volts, so it does run off of my inverter, which I don't necessarily like, but it gets the job done and there's plenty of power in here, so no complaints in that department. This is my pantry. Up top, I've just got pots and pans, my coffee mugs, my plates, stuff like that. Down here, I keep my camp stove in here. I've got a bunch of containers that I have my medical kits, all my wiring stuff, anything that I need to fix something. I've got a bug screen, all my toiletry. Down below, I keep my dog food in a storage container and also an extra 5-gallon jug of water, as well as a 5-gallon drinking water jug. That's primarily my drinking water. But all the water that I use in my water tank is filtered water as well, so it can be drank. So I kept this area open for my dogs. They've got their water bowl here. I keep all their toys back here and just some shoes and my trash can. Up top, I keep my guitar here. It's not the best place for it, but for right now, that's where it's going. Over here is my filling station. Just unscrew this. I do have a funnel. Put this guy in here, bungee it down, and you can pour the water in that way. Or you can stick a hose straight in there and fill it up. This is my water spigot right here. I attach my hose to it. And that's my shower. So over the months of me living in the van, it's been a year now, I've been sharing my experience on Instagram. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me and, you know, say some really nice things to me, and I've inspired a lot of people. So that led me into my podcast, the Inner Soak podcast. I have tons of information on there about myself and about living van life. And that has also led me down the road of my business, which is dogwood conversion vans. I build out custom conversion vans for you to fit your needs. So basically, I just want to spread everything that I've learned. Like, I've experienced so much stoke this past year. I've been to so many amazing places, and I just want to share this with everybody. I want them to know that where they're at in their life, that doesn't have to be the end game. You can change whatever situation you're in, and you can make your dreams come true. For me, it was van life. So I basically sold my house, sold all my belongings, got rid of everything I own, and everything I own right now is sitting in this van. And that makes me so happy. Having control of this, if something was to happen, I know I'd be able to rebuild it. I think it was 2012 or 2013 when Hurricane Sandy hit, I actually lost my home. And that was one of the most devastating things that I've ever experienced, was losing my home. And I never wanted that control again. I didn't want that. I'd never wanted to experience that again. So I basically just cut myself out of that life and went into a nomadic lifestyle. So if something happens to this home, yeah, it'll be devastating, but I know I'll be able to rebuild it. So that makes me happy. My ultimate goal is to have a homestead one day. I want chickens, cows, you know, you name it. I want to grow all my own food. I want to raise all my own animals. I want to be completely sustainable. I want to live off the grid. I want to make all my electricity. I want all my water, everything. I want to be completely sustainable. That is my ultimate goal in life. And spreading stoke, of course. So the future for me, I definitely see myself in a van for sure, for a few more years at least. I'm going to be focusing on my podcast as well as building out vans and selling them. Inspiring others to live this lifestyle, inspiring others to get out of the world that they're in. So the pros and cons of living in a van, we'll start with the cons. Water tends to be an issue sometimes. Finding a water spigot, over time you get really good at spotting them out, but I don't like to steal water. In California, the state beaches, they have free water. Campgrounds, you can stop and you can fill up water. Typically, I have to use a glacier station. Around here, I have to fill up my 5-gallon jug and then stand on the back and slowly pour it in. It takes about 4 or 5 times to completely fill my tank. So it takes close to an hour for me to fill up my water. It's, you know, comparable to taking buckets and going down to the river and then coming back up, you know, like the old folks used to do in the old days. Another con would be your sleeping situation, where you sleep. Sometimes you do end up sleeping on the side of the road. I mostly sleep in national forests. I've had some really good experiences in some spots, and I've also had some really bad experiences in some spots. My first week of van life, I was sleeping in a Walmart parking lot, and young kids surrounded my van in the middle of the night and started banging on it. So that was a terrifying experience. But other than that, your occasional parking ticket here or there. When it is too cloudy and it's raining a lot, sometimes you know, your solar is a problem, is an issue. But other than that, there aren't really any cons to living in your van. The pros would be I can wake up, start my engine, and go anywhere I want. The other weekend, I just wanted to go to the Oregon coast just because I missed the ocean. And I drove down there and I sat on the coast with my door open and listened to the waves roll in for like 4 hours. And that was just on a whim. That was just because I felt like it. I can pull up to the river here and just hang out for the day. If I go grocery shopping, I can pull into the lot, do my shopping, come outside, and I can cook my dinner in the parking lot if I want to. Come on. So I'd say those are the best perks of van life. Pulling up on the coast, opening your back doors and you got that ocean view. Pulling up in the forest, your dogs can just run wild. It's a great life. So you can find me on my Instagram at shane.dennis with 3 N's. You can find me on TikTok at shane.dennis with 2 N's. Also my podcast, which is Inner Stoke Podcast. And my website is dogwoodconversions.com. If you guys have any questions about van life or how to get into this lifestyle, you can contact me through any of those that I just named there, and I will get back to you guys as soon as possible.
I hope you enjoyed that content. If you hadn't noticed, we do have an ebook that we sell, and the link is just in the description. It contains 160 pages crammed full of practical advice, walkthrough information, electronic schematics and part lists, which will make your job a lot easier for doing a van conversion, and it will save you time and money. Also, we've created special videos for the ebook which enable you to see walkthroughs for how to do loads of things in a van conversion. So that's for water systems, for your electrics, for how to do simple woodwork joints that anyone can do. I really believe that anyone, regardless of their experience, can make a half decent van conversion. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate you watching our content, and we put a lot of effort to make it interesting, informative, and find those cool projects that feature on our channel. Consider subscribing, leave a comment, and we'll see you next week.